Hey guys, some updates and some experiences I've had. This morning at 2:30, quarter to 3 a.m., I woke up and the ETs were coming. My head was ringing like the sound of crickets and frogs in outdoors, out in the woods. It's ringing, it's going ree ree ree. And I hooked up to the ETs, and it felt ominous. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I had such a flashback. There was fear, and it was overpowering. It was like the sun was crashing into the earth. That's what it felt like when you hook up. When they're coming at you, and you feel them, it feels like the sun is crashing into the earth. Man, anyway, my innocence screams to Christ, the aliens, the ETs are coming, the ETs are coming. And my head's ringing, and I got a little vision. Which is really interesting. I had, sewing needles, knitting needles, the big long ones, they're thick. They're knitting needles, and you fucking knit things, the sweaters and stuff. I had a vision of that. I had a vision of a knitting needle going through my head like that. I ain't thought about it much, but I had that vision. And it was electric. It was an electric knitting needle. And there was energy coming off it. Like that. Which was making that sound. So I laid there about a minute, 3 minutes with this noise. And I'm saying to Christ, I'm like, Christ, they're close, man, they're close. And I can feel them staring at me, but the energy coming off them. And it feels intimidating, like, wow. I mean, I haven't felt that in like about 4 years. So it was a trip. And then they slowly went away. And I'm thinking, Christ is running around getting people. My innocence is screaming. My wife and the kids are screaming. The aliens are taking Rich away. All this stuff. They're going to kill them. They're all paranoid. They don't know what to do. They've all seen the ETs. I don't think my kids have, but Christ has. He knows all about it. So the Christ I am in St. Lucian, he's all over the place. Christ from Christendom, he comes. The guy that's teaching me how to defend myself. He comes flying in. He says a bunch of stuff. I forgot what he said. And I'm trying to figure out why the ETs are coming, right? What happened in my life? It's like whenever I spark, my heart, my soul sparks and glows with the spark. The ETs come that night, 3 o'clock all the time. But this is the closest they've come in a long time. And I didn't see them. I just felt them. I didn't see nothing. I was looking at Christ. The two Christs were talking back and forth. They're hooking up to me, and everything slowly went away. And the sound in my head went away. But fuck. One thing I noticed was how loud it is. It was loud, man. It was like loud. And I was getting ready to tell Christ if they were getting any closer to juice my head, put that energy in my head, and it buffers the sound of the ETs, because that's what they had to do the last time. But I was a lot worse off. Anyway, like my skins are still loose. I don't hear the voices, Christ's voice, when I'm awake. But I just woke up and I'm laying there, so I'm like wide open, seeing Christ. And the ETs got any closer, I would have seen them. So that was pretty heavy. But the knitting needle going through my head, that was interesting. Knitting. What do you do when you knit? You create something, right? I don't know, I'm just saying. It was like a visual representation of the noise going through my head. Anyway, That was pretty interesting. Nothing else came of it. If anything else does come of it, I'll let you know. The only two things I can think of was there's a person on my YouTube that just is subscribed. He seems really interested in my ET stuff. I don't know if that is anything. Then I'm doing a reverse speech on an astronaut who basically reveals everything about his life with the ETs and what he's seen of the ETs and like secret bunkers and shit. That was freaking me out. Now, what brought the ETs? I have really no idea, but you know, I'm theorizing. What are the two things that happened in my life? Was the guy on YouTube that's talking to me, the new guy, and my reverse speech. I just started it yesterday. So those are the only two things ET related that's new in my life. And I'm trying to put it to why the ETs came last night. There's got to be a reason. There's usually something that brings the ETs towards me. Like, I hear them. Almost every morning I wake up, I hear them. And they're far, far away. Like, I can hear the cricket sounds. I can hear the sounds, but it's so far away. Almost every morning. But this, it was like they were damn near over my house. Over my apartment. Like, they were close, man. In the Earth's atmosphere. That's what I'm thinking. So, anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in there because I haven't had that close. I haven't been that close to them for 4 years or so. And a couple dreams I had were really cool. So 2 days ago, I started feeling little hand, like, you know how you get that little running across your skin, little tingle going across your skin, like that, touching you all the time. Well, those are spirits, right? Spirits, energies, whatever, souls. Looky'loos. Looky'loos are the people that live in your building, like ghosts, and they just fucking stare at you all the time, waiting for you to do something, smoke a cigarette or drink a beer, so then they siphon off you. Well, anyway, I'm feeling this, and I'm like, looky'loo, looky'loo. So Christ comes, he checks out, he can't find nothing. That night, last night, this is really interesting. I go into a dream, and it's this weird dream, and it's a reoccurring dream. I had it about 3 times, so this will be my 3rd time having it. And I'm downtown, and there's a tree, and it's got that chopped wood around the tree. And there's a bunch of people hanging out talking, and there's this one girl sitting by the tree, sitting against the tree, and everybody's drinking coffees and talking and talking about stuff. She gets up, she goes, "Oh, there's ants all over me." And I look at her back, and there's ants all over her and her legs and her butt, all over her clothes. She's running around knocking them off. And no one really cares. You don't want ants, don't sit on the tree. So, and then that happens. And then she sits back down, and we're talking again. I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know who the girl was. But I'm standing there drinking my coffee, chatting to these people. And all of a sudden, this little girl, she got a pink dress on. She got a pink dress on. She's talking like she's 12 years old, but she's 3 feet tall, like a little thing, little tiny thing. And she comes up to me, and she's pulling my shirt, like, you know, hey. And I go, yeah, what's up? And she goes, "Do you know where Jesus is? I need to see Jesus." I go, "You do?" She goes, "Yeah, I need to see Jesus." And I go, "Oh, hold on." I go, "You got ants all over you." And she's like, "I got ants all." And I turn her around, she got ants crawling all over her. So I'm knocking off the ant. I go, "Just hang on, I'll get you Jesus." And I'm knocking the ants off her dress. And she's just a little kid, right? So I'm knocking the ants off her dress. And I go, "So you want to talk to Jesus?" And I go, "Well, first off, you don't ask for Jesus. And she goes, what do you mean? And I go, you got to ask for Jesus Christ. You got to ask for Christ. And she goes, yeah, Jesus Christ. And I'm like, oh, she's screwed, right? I'm thinking, how am I going to tell her? And I go, don't ask for Jesus. You ask for Christ. Because anybody can be Jesus, right? Any bad thing can be called Jesus. And you ask him. And she's like, and she's thinking, I go, do you got a pen and a pencil so you can write this down? And I'm going to give her my mantra, right? Which I tell everybody on the YouTube. So I'm getting a pen and a pencil, and I'm saying, and I write real big words, ask for Christ or Jesus Christ. Never say Christ, right? And I'm writing this down for her. All of a sudden I start waking up, and she's got more ants on her. And so we're talking, and I'm going, you got to ask for Christ. And I'm knocking the ants off her. She's like, okay. She's just standing there. I never see her face, though. I never seen her face. So I'm knocking the ants off her. And I wake up. And I'm talking to her. And I go, you got to ask for Jesus Christ. And I go, and so I'm telling her to chant Christ consciousness, right? And then ask for help from Jesus. Like I'm talking to you guys, because that's how I remember, right? And all of a sudden, my wife goes, who are you talking to? I'm going, oh, I can get Jesus. I go, Jesus, come here. I think I got someone for you. And I'm totally leaving her. I'm leaving her. I'm coming back. I'm coming into like St. Lucian now, where Jesus and my wife is, and my car and my house and all that. I'm starting to see that, but I still see the girl. I'm going, come in. I go, Christ, come in with me and get this little girl. And he's like, who are you talking to? I go, just get the fucking girl. I can't explain all this. Just do. Because I'm leaving her like in a second. She's going to be gone. And I'm like, just get in here. Don't talk to me. So he goes, whoosh, comes flying in. And I go, the little girl there in the pink dress. She's looking for you. So he goes in. He's with her now. He totally disappears out of St. Lucian. My wife's bitching at me. Who are you talking to? What are you doing? I'm like, shut the fuck up. Just let it happen. And I go talk to Jesus. I don't know what the hell's going on. I was knocking ants off them little kid. She wanted to talk to Christ. And I go, well, you know what? She was looking for Christ, and she asked me. And I go, I don't know. That's all I know. I'm waking up. I'm running to the toilet to piss. Everybody's bitching at me. So Christ got her. Christ... I go to the bathroom, I lay back down. Christ goes, good job, Rich. He comes and says, good job, Rich. And he goes, and basically, this little girl was running around in the astral plane, in the illusion, in my room, my apartment. And that earlier in the day, I felt all those little things touching me. The little hands touching me all over. And I'm like, fucking looky-loos. I asked Christ to come. He didn't see nothing. But it was her, the little kid. Now, I got ants in my apartment. They're in the walls. They're coming out of the walls, right? And I'm keeping them at bay, but I'm doing the best I can. Anyway, there's ants in my apartment. The little girl, was covered in ants, right? And the looky-loo, during the day, a looky-loo is a spirit in the apartment. Spirits in the apartment building. Roaming the earth plane. Right? The illusion. Anyway. Oh, Christ came and got her. They had a chat. He said she got lost. And she was from a covenant or a community. A Christian community, but she got lost, and she was looking for Christ to take her back. And she heard me talking about Christ in my spirit. My innocence is always talking about Christ to my wife and Christ, and they're always talking about shit all day long. I don't get to hear it anymore, thank God. Well, not as much. Anyway, they talk all day long. So she heard my soul talking, and she started trying to get my attention. Well, I fell asleep. She came into my dream, we met in the dream. She came up and she asked me, hey, where's Christ? I need to talk to Christ. So I knew she heard my innocence talking. So I'm wiping the ants off her. The ants were like an indicator of looky-loo in my apartment. Because I got ants in my apartment. She's covered in ants. So that means she's in my apartment. That's how. You get it? Pretty cool, eh? So anyway, I woke up. I'm telling her how to contact Christ. I woke up. I got Christ. He came and took her back to the community. Wherever she came from. And that was about it. So that was one dream that was actually interacting with a person, a dead spirit, soul, which is pretty cool. I thought that was cool. I have another dream. This is a lesson dream. This is I'm working at a coffee shop, and the girl, she's the big boss. There's a girl, but she's a bitch, like a bitch. And she's leaving. She's training me, and this is a dream I'm having. She's training me to do everything she did so I can take her place, right? But she's just nuts. And she's telling me all this stuff. She's going, you got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this. And it's all about security. Everybody that comes in, I got to write information about them and stick it behind this board against the wall. So there's a board leaning up against the wall, like a board with paintings on it or something. I got every customer that comes in, I got to write down who they are, what they are, and their intents and all this shit. And I'm like, why, right? She's like, you gotta do this, you gotta remember this, you gotta remember this. She'd be rating me with this. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Joe, the mailman, comes for coffee at 6 o'clock. He's an asshole. Stick it on the back of the board. That type of stuff. So that's what she's, then she goes, come here. And she goes, you gotta do this, 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 this. And it's all these things she's telling me to do are totally irrelevant from a coffee shop, okay? In a coffee shop, you come in, you get your coffee, everybody's happy, sit around, talk, fuck off. Okay, go back to doing your thing. That's what a coffee shop is, right? But she's got me doing all this, like, secret, weird stuff. And then I have to go meet the people that are going to be under me, working under me, when I get this job from her. And I'm so mad at her, right? I'm irate. I go meet these other guys. There's this other kid. And there's this other kid, and he's like a Chinese kid. And he's as arrogant. Just arrogant as you can be. And he's like, he looks at me and he's got this disdain for me. I don't know what he said, but he pissed me off. And I'm like, you're fucking fired as soon as I get this, right? Because he's giving me this attitude. And that's what I'm saying in my head. And then I meet another girl, and they're all like 10 years younger than me, if not more. I meet this other girl. She's giving me a bitch face attitude. And everybody I meet, all these employees I meet that are going to be working under me, when my boss leaves and I become her place, they're all giving me attitude and snot-faced SJW type stuff. You know, oh, you're a fucking male, that type of thing, you know. And even the guys are doing it. And I'm like, what the fuck? Has anybody got a normal fucking human? Hi, human. Hello, human. Let's talk. Normal world reality. Anybody got a head like that? They all got these stereotypes in their head. And then my boss pulls me over. She grabs me and she pulls me over and she starts bitching at me again about stuff that has nothing to do with coffee shops. Right? It's all crazy. And she's telling me, she takes me back to this board. She's yelling at me. And I'm like, I start waking up and I want to tell, I'm like, I'm out of here. Fuck you. You know what? I ain't working in this shit. That's what I'm going to say to her. And I start waking up, and I'm looking at her and I go, you know what? Fucking keep the fucking job. I don't want it, you fucking retarded bitch. And you fucking rotten kids out there, good luck with all that. fuck you, see you later. I don't want to work in this shithole. And she's sitting there going, I totally fucked her, right? And then Grace, and I'm bitching, I'm yelling, I'm like, fuck you, bitch, you keep your fucking coffee shop. I'd rather live in the fucking streets than work in this goddamn place, you fucking nut. I'm yelling at her in my head, and I'm waking up, Grace is going, calm down, calm down. And I look at him, also I snap out at her, and I'm looking at Grace, he's like, calm down, calm down. And he goes, it was a lesson dream, a lesson dream. I go, what? And I go, that fucking bitch. I'm yelling at Grace, and I go, that fucking bitch is nuts. I go, it has nothing. It has nothing, whatever she's saying, it has nothing to do with the fucking coffee shop, Grace. And I'm thinking Grace is picking on me now, right? Because it's Grace who's giving me the dream. He goes, no, Rich, he goes, calm down. He goes, I was giving you a lesson dream of abuse. And he goes, they were abusing you on purpose. And that is the lesson that you need to learn. And I go, did I learn it? And he goes, yeah, you told her to fuck off. That's good. And I'm like, yeah, I know, right? And he goes, they were abusing you. They were treating you like a chump. They were making you run around like a mouse, giving you bullshit, and you were running around. And finally you realized it, and you told them to fuck off. And you left. And he goes, that's the best thing you could have done. That was the lesson. That was what I wanted you to do. When people treat you like that, tell them to fuck off and never talk to them again. Well, he didn't say F off, but basically that's what he's saying. And that was a dream. And I was so mad. Because they had me running around and they were telling me to do all this fucking stuff that was just pointless. Absolutely pointless to doing a job in a coffee shop. Had nothing to do with it. Oh God, I was so mad. And I go, he goes, it was good. He goes, you needed it. I'm like, yeah, it was a good dream. You made your point very well, but I'm still pissed off, right? And he goes, well, just calm down. It's all over now. I'm like, oh man. So that's Grace, man. He'll get you in a dream and abuse the shit out of you just to teach you. And that was the dream. Crazy stuff, man. I was so mad. Oh, I was mad. I don't know how to say it. But my last 2 days, I don't know what else to say. I'm going to make a video on Lucifer. Because a long time ago, not a long time, a couple months ago, Queenie was inside me. She went to Jesus. And she went and talked to Christ, and I overheard her talking. She goes, Richie seen Lucifer. Richie seen Lucifer. Richie seen Lucifer. And I tried to figure out what she meant by saying that. Like, I seen Lucifer. Well, I finally figured out what it meant. And I'm going to make a video about it. Of what Lucifer means and how I seen it. How I seen Lucifer. And what she meant by that. I got 5 minutes now, but I could do it, but it's going to take longer. So, I'm going to make a video about that. Maybe next. I don't know. Alright, later guys.